Welcome to part two. I'm just waiting for Shane to click on. Yep, Shane, where are you, mate? Here we are. You're on, mate. How are you, mate? Right, mate, listen it.
You there?
You there, mate? Good man.
Yeah. By the way, my picture's not here though.
Doesn't matter. So, yeah, moving on from Big JF then, we'll put him to bed. He's not going to fight anybody, is he, Shane?
No.
No, not at all. Not. Do you think for $1 million now?
Listen, who wants to pay £1 million? Who's gonna pay him £1 million to fight? It's not gonna happen, is it, brother? It's not gonna happen, not in this life.
Should have happened a few years ago. Should have fought Mick. It didn't happen, did it?
Listen, he had a chance to fight Mickey Theo. Mickey Theo still wants to fight him. I speak to Mickey Theo regular. He said, listen, Shane, I'll fight Joe Egan. Listen, he'll fight. Listen, Mickey Theo will fight anybody. And he's 60 years old. And he's up for it. So if either of them two banging the gums will have a fight, Mickey Theo's there for a fight. He will have a fight now. I can make it happen now. So can you, Russ.
Yeah, the old John though, don't they really fuck money really? I think Joe Egan wanted John, didn't he? Because John put challenges out, didn't he, to men over 50.
Yeah, and hence why Mickey Theo sort of like fucking came into the equation. You know, hence why now Big Joe said, well, listen, okay, you will have it, I'll have it. Because he's just, he's put the words, he's planted the seeds in his head that come out of his mouth and said, well, look, I'll fight you. You know, he goes on about fighting everybody, but nothing materializes it. You know what I mean? When Froch said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll have it for you, but for charity. Started backpedaling. Well, Froch would not fuck out of him. You know it, and I know it, and he knows it.
Yeah, well, we'll put him to bed. All right, then we spoke about Ngannou and Joshua. You've got Joshua in that fight, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have got.
No.
Well, I've got Joshua.
You've got Joshua over the ground.
Yeah, I've got him to beat Ngannou. Yeah, walk through him.
You think he'll walk through him?
Well, if he does, what does it do to? What does it say about Fury? If he does?
Yeah, but listen, he won't, mate. Listen, he won't. Listen, the man, the man is an absolutely fucking punching machine.
Yeah.
Listen, he's already been renowned for being the hardest hitter
Mm.
in the world on one of these machines, right?
Mm.
He's in absolutely great fettle. Listen, right, the man is ripped to pieces. He's fucking solid as butcher's chopping block, mate. He is fucking rock hard. Sorry saying agent, oh yeah, but I'm all chiseled. I'm this, that, and the other. I'm in fine fettle. Listen, the Grano is just one lump of a man who can commit serious damage.
Yeah. What do you think to Ricky Burns coming back? Do you think he should leave it alone?
Oh, as he coming back as his skin?
I don't know. It reminds me when Scott Harrison came back. I don't like to see it. I mean, I just wish fighters had.
Listen, when I think when you leave the ring, they've all tried to come back. Listen, Ricky Attons, listen, they've all tried to do it. You know what I mean? Nigel Benn. Listen, they've all said, "Oh, enough's enough. I'll come back for one more." Do you know? Honestly, I swear to God, Eubanks, all of them, they've all retired and all said, "Oh yeah, well I'll do a little bit, a bit of that. I just want a few quid." I think you hang your boots up and your gloves up because you know you're at the end of your career.
Yeah.
And if you know you're at the end of your career and you hang them up, then I think they should stay hung up. You know, like you don't see a footballer coming out of retirement at 45 and signing for Man United, do you? No.
Yeah. Would you put it past Davy Day coming back for another comeback? Would you put it past him?
Listen, I think you're just having a fucking giraffe in front. Listen, everyone's just trying to jump on this silly bandwagon of fighting at the 40s and 50s. And listen, the only good heavyweight boxer that came back later on was Bugner.
George Foreman came back, didn't he?
Yeah, Foreman came back as well, yeah.
Yeah, Bugner didn't win the title though, did he? But he did.
No, he didn't, but he came back, you know what I mean? But like I say, Foreman, but to be fair, Foreman, when he came back, who was about in the heavyweight division then?
Well, he was just bowling them over, wasn't he, Big George?
Exactly. Tyson was finished then when he came back. To be fair, they want to now, even now. I think even now, Tyson Fury is where he is because the heavyweight division has got nothing in it.
Shane, what would you think to Big George Foreman against Daniel Dubois? Who'd win that?
You'd have to say George. You'd like to think George would, wouldn't you? But you know, you're asking me hard questions, Russ, that I hadn't really got the answers for because I hadn't really looked at the stats. I'll have to look at them and you know, who are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking at the moment, at the same age as what they are, George Foreman had accomplished more, hasn't he? You know, he'd
What
already
more?
been world champion, and
Yeah.
world champion. So,
But sometimes when you pass your sell-by date, you might as well just. It's like when you have a football or a rugby derby, you might as well just chuck all the form out the window because you don't mean that on the day.
yeah, yeah.
On the day, it's who wants it the most in it, or who's trained the hardest, who wants it the most. It's about bragging rights, isn't it?
Do you think Dillian Whyte's career's heading for Skid Row with that fourth drug test?
Well, I can't even believe you can still fucking lace a pair of gloves on. I still don't think they let him put gloves on. I can't understand how he had been fucked off ages ago.
Well, he had that combat sports one, was it K2 or something? I forget now. And he's had obviously these issues. He had that over the counter one when he were 8-0, I think, something around about that.
Yeah.
World class left hook. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he can't fight. And then that Oscar Rivers situation, which would where's the B sample, and then
Listen, what they're trying to do is they're trying to
latest,
push it to the limits to see what they can get away with.
when do you think it ends?
Well, it ends when someone puts a foot down and says, right, you're banned or this isn't happening, that ain't happening, and someone starts throwing the law down because until it happens, until someone throws the law down, they'll just continue doing what they're doing, expecting to get away with it, won't
they? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you think to mainstream media in boxing, Shane?
Mainstream as in the context of what, Russ?
The line of questioning for the big dogs.
Listen, when I used to watch boxing when I was a young kid, listen, right, 40 years ago when I was watching boxing and all that, listen, and still now I still listen, but listen, the majority of the time now, it's all about the questions should be asked in the context where the questions are asked, they should be answered. Not diversifying into other things all the time and being led off track and all that and saying, oh, well, it's about this and it's about that. Just sit down, it should be question and answer so people know where they are and what's happening next. Instead of being railroaded into believing this can happen, that can happen, and not knowing. Because after some of the interviews, some of these reporters and news readers and everything else while they're giving out, they don't explain what's happened and why it's like it is. It's like, who done it? Watch your space to find out what's happened next.
Yeah, yeah. Taylor Catterall rematches on. What do you think to that?
But is it definitely on?
Yeah, it's on in Leeds.
Right. Well, again, his last fight was a good fight, to be fair.
Who's last fight?
That what's his name? That it's a factual on it.
Catterall.
Oh no, I don't know. I thought it was about Fletcher.
You mean Taylor and Catterall they fought 2 years ago, Taylor Catterall?
No, it's not a fight I'm familiar with, Russ.
No, no.
No.
Somebody always emails me, and there's guys who always always asking me to mention Zhang and Parker to the guests on here. So, what do you think about that fight, Shane? Zhang and Parker,
Uh,
big Chinaman.
I know he is, but I'm just thinking. Well, when's it scheduled for?
Yeah, I think it's scheduled for next month.
And where is it across here in the States?
It's in Riyadh, isn't it?
So it's just no, they won't be on the same bill as that. Listen, Riyadh at the minute, to be fair, they're cornering the market and they're getting everything and taking all the money and they're just doing as they like over there. And you can't knock them for it. And they do put good shows on and everything else as well. But you know, they're just mopping up at the minute and just going, oh yeah, come and fight over here, come and fight over here. And everyone's just trundling off going over there. And all he's doing is leaving our paces across here, fucking emptying on the floor. So instead of filling stadiums over here and leaving some revenue over here, all the revenue is going over there in flights, in accommodation, travel. It was just our country is becoming poorer and poorer through everything, motorsport, boxing, everything's just not over here anymore. All the best horse racing, everything's all abroad, and it just. I just think our country's just becoming a skeleton country for money and everything. Everything's just getting took off as and just taken out of our own backyard and put where people go. Oh yeah, we'll go there. No, listen. Look how much money the MEN Stadium would take in Manchester if there was a fight there. Look at all the hotels in the areas. Look at all the pubs and the clubs and the restaurants. And look, Russ, I just think we're getting everything taken away from us, mate. We just look like a silly little nation now.
Zilly Zhang and Parker's on undercard of Joshua's fight with
Krusher and Things fight, yeah.
Ngannou. Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
under.
the ground. They must be top of the bill, aren't they, then? The ground. They must be the top bill fight, are they?
Ngannou, Joshua, yeah, and you've got Nick Ball against Ray Vargas for a WBC trinket belt. Other fight, there might not be many others you might recognise. Roman Fury, Tommy Fury's brother's fighting. He ain't got his opponent's not named yet. There's 11 fights on.
Is that what his 11 fight card?
2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 11. Yeah, 11 fights.
What about going over there, Russ?
What, Saudi? I'm not going over there, mate. If I went over there and got into any altercations or I told anybody to F off or something, or I don't know, I'm not going to get hammer because there's no beer, is there?
Yeah, the green door.
Oh.
There's fuck all over there for you, kids.
Could get some hooch going over there, couldn't we, Shane?
Fucking hell. I'll tell you this, you know something? My old man used to drive over to Saudi and everywhere years and years ago when he was still alive, bless him, when he was a truck driver, back in the 70s and the early 80s and all that. And they used to stop his wagon on the desert and everything, right? The coppers and take bottles of whiskey off him and this, that, and the other and all that. And the man used to have him in his motor just for him to take him. So they didn't fucking bother with anything else. They used to make sure that they'd get off the desert. They all fucking drink over there, mate. Oh, it's for religion, it's for religion, that. They bum little boys over there, mate, and think it's okay. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So that's more of an offence than fucking drinking alcohol, I'm sure. But not in their eyes.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's another story.
Yeah. What do you think to Conor Benn's situation? You know, now since we haven't had you on for about 10 months, but what do you think to it all?
It's a shame, really, isn't it?
his peak years, these, aren't they? He's coming up 28.
Well, should be peaking. They should be peaking, shouldn't they? Should be at the peak. But listen, are drugs a factor in it? Do you think?
Yeah.
So,
I think something's happened and they've gone down every avenue to make it go away. But
and it won't.
the more avenues they've gone down,
The bigger the tin of worms.
yeah, the bigger the what.
The bigger the tin of worms. Every time they try going down different avenue, we're getting it over 10. And this, that, and the other. They're opening the can of worms even more.
Yeah,
It won't go away. They can't. It won't go away. They can't get rid of it. They can't shut the door on it. It is what it is. And instead of saying yes, sorry, and dealing with it, they're just trying to kick up every fucking pebble in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Did you see Chris Eubanks on that video what I sent you?
No, what we're doing.
When he was at that party out of his head.
Oh, his dad. Yeah, yeah. Well, did he come into that? There was some dance music on or rave music, and he came into.
And he came in,
like he was
blathering his mouth over and all that and everything, putting all his fucking lips on and all that, dropping his jacket on the floor. It was at a rugby ground. It was at a rugby presentation, and he just made, and people saying, "Oh no, don't film him, just leave it, just leave it." And in the end, everyone just got the cameras out and just absolutely blasted it everywhere. He was absolutely off his fucking trolley.
Really?
Like, I wasn't there, but I seen it, and I just thought to myself, "Good Lord, how do you conduct yourself like that?"
Yeah.
Mental.
What do you think to these up and comers, these next sort of generation of heavyweights? Frank Sanchez, Jared Anderson, Martin McCauley. You know, what do you think to them? Do you think they're going to get their chance at some point?
Well, they've got to get the chance because there's not really anybody else about Russ. What's Tyson Fury now? 37?
No, he's about 35. My argument with it all is this: we've got to have this fight in May, and then they've got to scatter them and let everybody go for them, and let's build a new generation up of heavyweights. You know, if these are moving on, because there's not much activity, is there, with the belts? It's quite
it's still in it because there's no one to fight. Listen, when I was a young kid, and I used to watch the heavyweights, and I used to watch all divisions. You would normally have between 5 or 4 and 7 fights a year.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's every one every 18 months.
Well, one every 10 actually for his last 10.
Whatever, but that's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one every year or whatever. Listen, what good's that to the paying public who want to watch good heavyweights get stuck into each other and you know, it's not good, Russ.
No,
You know,
because we're left with scraps. I mean, people are getting into a manager position, and the parked up that long. Like Joe Joyce were parked up that long. He got old, and
exactly.
in end, he had to take a fight just to get some money coming in, and he got beat by Zhang. Then he had to try and correct that. He got beat again. But really, he'd still be parked up waiting, wouldn't he?
Well, listen, he should have been out fighting, shouldn't he? Instead of just fucking, like you say, being packed up doing now. But who was it for him to fight at the time?
Usyk.
Yeah, but Usyk would have just fucking gone straight through him, wouldn't he?
Well, Usyk ended up. I think the Dubois one were first, and it would have been him now. But it's I don't know what's happening with that. It's all a bit messed up, isn't it?
The thing with Usyk is, Usyk will take a fight at short notice, and he's fought everybody in their own backyard to beat him.
Yeah, he has Usyk, and he's a road warrior, isn't he?
He's not frightened of anybody. He'll get on the plane and go on his own. He's like that fucking from Scarborough. What do you call him? Crumbs.
Max.
Yeah.
Hey, Max goes abroad to fight, Shane. Max, he's not.
Yeah, no, he goes on. He went on his own to Prague, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, Max don't mess about.
Fucking Mad Max.
He's got his license, the border control license now, Max.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how old's he now, to be fair?
I think he's about 37, Max, now.
What's he going to do?
Well, I hope Dennis is going to match him accordingly, I would have suppose. So it's, you know,
Yeah,
it's,
but will he?
well, I mean, if he's up against a professional fighter and they get somebody low ranked, you've got to roll dice, haven't you? There's only so low you can go, isn't there? If Max was like at novice stage, isn't
he? Yeah. Listen, nice kid, big heart, everything else as well. But he's not going to get a payday, is he?
He might have to pay to go on a Dennis show unless Dennis can get him as an away fighter somewhere and somebody as a last minute. You know, he might get a phone call, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Can you go to Manchester or Wolverhampton?
Yeah, but listen, Tony Bellew used to do exactly the same. Listen, Tony Bellew, lovely kid, 167 professional fights. But listen, the fight's what he had in the end. He used to get a phone call. Can you get to Bethnal Green this afternoon or in 5 hours from now? Set off straight away. Go there, get punched about a bit, get 1,500 quid. Listen, what sort of life's that?
Yeah, I know.
You run the risk of dying on the motorway on the way down there, getting crashed into, this happening, that. Listen, getting punched in when you get there. Men looking for 1,500 quid. Why? I said to him a million times, why don't you just say enough's enough? Yeah, but it's 1,500 quid. If I get one of them a week, it's fucking 6 bags a month still. And I used to just shake my head at him and say, all right, Tony, if that's what. But now, to be fair, he's got himself a little gym now. He's got a few lads. He's got some very, well, I wouldn't say very good, but he's got some half decent lads there at the minute, boxing and what have you, and doing a little bit and listening to him, and he's been repetitive with him and all that. And, he ain't got no pro stand up there yet. You know what I mean? I was talking to Sonny Pollard. I was at a boxing do last week, and Sonny Pollard was there, and he's got a young lad just turned pro in his gym, so he's spending a bit of time with him. So just see what happens from there. But like you say, there's not a lot about in the heavyweight division, or the light heavies for that matter. Well, they're under the same, they're under the same umbrella now, but in Britain, really, there are some half decent heavyweights, but they're not getting a look in because of the farcical shite what's about at the minute. Throughout the world, what we've got in the heavyweight division, really. Flasker's gone. Do you know what I mean? There's no Russians anymore. We've got one good Ukrainian. We've got a couple of great Brits over here who both think they're fucking 10 men, and really they're not. In America, fucking Wilder's been knocked fucking. There ain't no. Who have you got, Rush, really?
Well, we've got Anthony Joshua. He's WBC ranked #1 for Tyson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got him and Fury. Listen, I don't know what it is with you just lately, but you seem to be a Joshua fan just lately. You never used to be.
I'm not a Joshua fan. I don't listen. His story's good, right? But he don't conduct himself like the other fella, does he?
No.
He conducts himself a bit better. I know he's not an angel, but he conducts himself a lot better. He comes across a bit better, I think, than Tyson does now. Tyson, I thought, were a man of the people, but it's all gone down the toilet now. The mask's slipped, hasn't it? Do you think?
When Tyson first started, he was a people pleaser. He enjoyed everybody, his fans and all that. And now I think everything's just gone through his head, and he's just like, I don't think he wants to fight anymore. Oh, well, he's got mental health, he's got this, that, and everything. Listen, whatever. If he's got all these problems, don't fight. Hang your gloves up. Be respectful for what you've achieved, but don't try and overachieve and just convince people that you're capable of things that aren't going to happen. Because some things, what he keeps saying is, I honestly believe he can't beat You know, he can't beat Usyk no matter how hard he tries, mate. He's lost all his weight and everything. He's lost weight, he's lost power, he's lost. Have you seen him out? He's seen how skinny he is just lately.
Oh, Tyson.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking butcher's pencil.
Yeah, but he maybe took it off too quick. Do you think the weight?
Listen, he's shredded some right weight, mate. Listen, I'm on about. Honestly, he shows you two pictures when he fought in the Nagano and then now, and he looks half the man he was then. And you know, when you lose weight, you lose power, and I just think that he's undercut himself too much for this Usyk fight. That it's going to bite him in the ass. Even if he did have any chance of winning, he's got less of a chance of winning now. Honestly, he must listen. He must be, and I kid you not, well under 20 stone.
Yeah, he looks it, doesn't he?
Have you seen a picture of him now? Have you seen him lately?
No, I seen it. I seen one a couple of days ago. I seen one of him.
Fucking hell. When he's in his gym and he's got them hands around his legs.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You
you
think he
know,
might
looks very gaunt and everything. It doesn't suit him at all.
No.
No. So he looks like that big angry fucker that used to play football and score them goals with his head.
Crouch.
Oh,
Peter Crouch.
yeah. Looks like Peter Crouch. Just looks like a big old angry thing. Man, Joe, I won't mind being a fucking stone behind him. Like, you know what I mean? I could do a little bit myself, like, well, that's another story. But
Yeah.
no, he's really shredding right now. Scarily thin.
Yeah. What do you think to Billy Joe's comeback in December? It didn't happen, did it?
Didn't happen.
Do you
Didn't happen.
think that's it now?
Well, I can't. Can you see somebody coming out of the woodworks to fight him?
No, I can't. Can you?
No.
It's a shame,
Wants,
really.
the thing with people, Russ, nowadays is they want everything done for them. Their asses wiped the lot. They don't want to get out there and do a bit of anything. They just want everything done for them, so they can just put the gloves on, have the fight, and then go home. They don't want to. They don't want to chase the dreams anymore. No one. They're not interested in, going out searching what's about and all that. And they're just like, "Oh, match me up, and I'll do this, I'll do that." And if they match up and they don't like it, then they complain about it. It's like, everyone's telling each other who they want to fight now and what they want to do instead of being saying, "Well, look, this is vacant, that's up, you're fighting in, they're doing." Listen, they need a governing body who's telling them what they're fucking doing, not the boxers telling the people what they're doing.
In the last 8 years, Billy Joe's had 8 fights.
One a year.
Yeah, in the last 8 years.
What good's that though?
Right?
They're just paydays, aren't they?
8 years and 3 months. So it's over, isn't it? It's over a year a fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Over a year a fight.
A year and 4 months, a year and 5 months.
Whatever. No, it ain't. It's about 70 days over 8 years. So in his last 8 fights. So
3 months. Sorry, Russ. 3 months. Yeah. So yeah. So it's yeah. It's like a year. It's like a year and
a year and 10 days or something, isn't
a
it?
year and 10, 12 days. So over a year per fight. Yeah. When you put it to the ratio.
It's not active enough for somebody like that, and you can't keep relying on your skill set because once your reflexes start going, a bit like Tyson Fury, his reflexes are not 10 out of 10 world class like Ali's, are they? It's not Tyson's fault, it's because he's getting old. That's the only thing that beats these guys like that, age.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying to you about concrete feet. That's what happens. You haven't got the move. You haven't got that shuffle. You can't get to where you used to be. You can't get back and everything. And when someone opens up on you and your legs are just like punched to the ground and you can't get out of the way.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And that's what happened. It's not because he can't do it anymore. It's because he's getting older. And as you get older, your eyesight fails. This fails, that fails. Well, when it comes to boxing, your ability to move like you used to fails you. You don't sting like a butterfly anymore. You know what I mean? You haven't got those, you haven't got those moves like you had. Those moves like Jagger. They don't, they fail you, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, they do. It's
You what, pal?
yeah, they do. We'll finish off on this one then. From Uzbekistan, Bakhod Jalalov. He's Olympic gold medal.
Gold medalist, yeah.
Yeah, and he's won two-time world championship gold. At the
Yeah,
moment,
that's right.
as a pro, he's 14-0.
Yeah,
14 on 14 of them, all of them knocked out. And they
yeah,
reckon it's going to be the next big noise from over there to join Kovalev, Golovkin, Usyk, Lomachenko, Bivol, them sort of guys. What Klitschko's, all them. What do you think? Why are these people from over there all big punchers?
Well, I think they're just genuinely stronger fighters. I think right. What it is going back to rugby again. We at Hull we had an halfback that used to play for us last year. He went back to Australia, right? I won't mention his name because it doesn't really matter. 'Cause it's not fair.
Yeah,
But over here. It was an half decent halfback. Didn't get paid a lot of money, but back home worth a fortune. Now he was interviewed a few weeks ago, and they said to him, "They said, look, how do you compare training in the UK as opposed to training in Australia?" He said, "Over in Hull where I was training, he said it was a piece of piss. I could get out of bed when I wanted to, turn up at the ground, train with the rest of them, and not even get out of breath." He said, "In Oz, he said they have you on your knees, you're grafting that hard that you're nearly sick." And I think it's the same with boxing, because places like Ukraine and other places, they're sort of still like semi-third world countries, you know what I mean? They haven't got a lot of anything and all that, and what they have got, they make the most of. So when they've got a couple of good fighters or whatever there, like Krusher and all that, the work and the work and the work. And the dudes are told they was both fighting well into the late 30s, early 40s. And it's just, it's just, they want, they want things out of life more than I think that the British do, and I just thought, I think Tyson beat him because he was an older man, you know what I mean? And he wasn't in his prime anymore, and Tyson was. And I just think then Tyson got a taste of things, Listen, I don't think Tyson's had a professional fight where he had been knocked down in it.
yeah,
And I just think them Eastern Europeans and all that, I just think they want it more. I think they're just stronger people. I think they're more determined and they train harder. And I think that's what makes them the elite in boxing because they are, to be fair.
they train in harsh conditions as well, don't they, over there?
Very,
Don't
well, that's what I'm saying to you. The conditions of training, the cold weather, just, and when you go into the gyms are sort of like nice, warm pipe, they're still cold gyms. Everything about it is like cold steel, snow, torrential shit all the time. And they're just out in the bitter cold, just, so that's why he didn't have a problem of going anywhere and everything, you know what I mean? Listen, he will go anywhere that Usyk can say, "Oh, okay, I'll fight you in your backyard." And he comes away with a point every time.
yeah, yeah, he does. He does. Okie
So
dokie.
you still fancy Fury over him, don't you?
No, I fancy Usyk to beat him.
You,
I think
you
I think
fancy
the time,
Usyk, do you?
I think the time's right now. The time's right. He's dragged it on that long. He's got hold himself, but you're always last and to note fighter.
Yeah.
And it's all pointing to the fact that he's over ill and coming down it now, and Usyk's just got to the top. Do you know what I mean?
Usyk's just peaked now, and I think you're right, Russ. I think he's peaked, and I think Tyson now is backpedaling down the hill now. He's done his little bit, and he's now trundling down the hill now on his way back down. And then once he hits a beating, I don't think he'll want to take another one out of
Oh,
embarrassment.
he's
I
not
think he'll
getting,
just go,
no. Listen, mate. He's not going anywhere. He's going to mop up the fights until it's probably down to 500,000 a fight. He'll just keep putting his hand out. You watch it happen.
Well, I think he's too much of a proud man for all that. I think he's got everything and all that now, and he doesn't need to do all this shit anymore. And if he does do anything, if he says, "Look, I'm going to have 3 more fights. I'll fight anybody you put in front of me, and I'm going to give the lot to the NHS. I'm going to give the lot to Mind, or I'm going to give the lot to, Spastic Society, or whatever," then that's how he'll go out with a bang. If he just wants to keep putting his hand out for more and more and more revenue, people are just going to say, "Go get yourself fucked because we're not paying to watch it."
Yeah. Well, we'll see, won't we? But I'd like
It
to
sounds
see.
harsh, Russ, but it's true, mate. Listen, people won't just keep paying and paying to watch the same old shit. Because every time I watch him, he goes down. Every time he goes down. And I think Usyk will put him down, and Usyk's going to be the one that'll keep him down. It was down against Johnson Wilder, won it for fucking 23 seconds or something.
Yeah.
How's that happen? And they are slating the kid. Listen, Tyson Fury is what he is in his own right, expect it. But he's had the rub of the green, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's like Robert Green.
On several occasions.
Well, you could say McDermott beat him. It should have been stopped against Walling on a cut. People made a case for Wilder beating him first time. And then Garno. So there's four asterisks there, isn't there?
That's what I'm saying. So he's had the rub of the green, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, but he's still in there, still undefeated. So, but he is on the slide, but but nobody's going to tell him around him, are they?
No one's going to what, pal?
Nobody's going to tell him that's around him because they're going to cut their own throats, aren't they? Because if he might say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think I'm slowing down. I'm retiring. The meals ticket's gone, isn't it?
Well, I think enough. Listen, enough's
That's
enough.
why, Shane. That's why the fighters, the last ones to know, because them around him are not going to tell him. Not when they're at this level. Look what they did to Ali and Mike Tyson and them.
Oh yeah, I get 5% of the purse. He gets 2%. He's on 3%. He gets 7%. Listen, at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, Russ, but as a fighter, you should listen to your wife and your kids and your fans that are saying to you, "Look, you're making yourself look a fucking mug."
Yeah.
Hacking in while you can. Tyson's retired more times than fucking I've drawn Social Security.
Right.
Oh, but he has, hasn't he? Every time, "Oh, I've had enough, that's it now. Oh, I'll come back again. Oh, I've had enough. What are you doing on TV? Oh, I'll come back again." And come off the day where he says, "Look, enough's enough." And enough should be enough. You can't just keep going on endlessly.
Yeah.
And he is going to take a beating shortly, isn't he? Even if he's got a few seconds, as far as you're concerned, it's going to be off AJ. If he's not off AJ, because he gets done in by Francis Ngannou, then it'll be So, come off the time very shortly, he's going to take a beating, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Right.
I don't want to see it. Listen, I don't want to see it. The man's done a lot, you know what I mean? And he has done a lot for charity and everything else as well. And he's an ambassador for the country, or was till his arm man jumped on the bandwagon. And it'd be a shame just to watch him going out getting the fuck knocked out of him just for a laugh, because he's better than that, you know what I mean? Or has been better than that. All right, he hasn't fought anybody spectacular, but he's been better than that. He's given us that great British title. He's given us something to be proud of, you know. He's English and he loves it and he's game for it. But sometimes enough's enough in it, Ross.
It is, mate. Listen, we're out of time. Listen, thanks for coming on, mate.
Listen, I apologise to everybody that's listened to me babble on loads of shit for the last hour and a half, but
And
listen,
swearing.
and I'm ever so sorry for swearing. I take every word back, apart from I did mean it.
All right. Listen, you take care.
Thanks, Russ. Take care, buddy. Ta-ra, pal.
Right.
Bye-bye,
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Peace out.